For a long time, I found myself in this vicious cycle of stress, emotional eating, chronic bloating, crazy cravings to where I couldn't get food off my mind. And no matter how much I slept, I just felt in a chronic state of fatigue with no energy. And it really did affect my fat loss journey because no matter what diet I tried, and I was 180 pounds when this was happening, no matter what diet I tried, I couldn't get sustainable results. I kept getting chronic cravings, yo-yoing out. My gut, I felt so bloated and run down. And there was one key thing that I'm gonna be sharing with you today. And it truly impacted the way that I was able to lose the weight, keep it off, get rid of the bloating, cravings, all of that. And it's the link to our gut. And the gut approach can fix it all. Today, I'm gonna be sharing with you, number one, why stress eating happens. Two, how it actually hinders your weight loss efforts, and some simple strategies to help you eliminate the bloat, get rid of cravings, and de-stress. And we're all gonna be getting to the root cause of what is actually going on with our gut, because this is a big factor now that needs to be addressed, and it's the missing link. It's not just about calories in versus calories out when it comes to fat loss, especially for my women over 40. Before we dive into it, I want to take you back a little while ago. So I was facing a ton of stress like many of you, work, got family, health issues, life in general. And it had me feeling like I was on this emotional roller coaster, and my response, you guessed it, I found myself reaching for anything in sight. It was probably all the wrong foods, sugary foods, high fatty treats, and I thought it would make me feel better, but it only made me feel better for the moment. It got me into this vicious cycle, and I tell my clients this, it's like when you don't feel good, so say you're stressed out, you don't feel good, you're stressed out, you eat the food, you feel bloated, you feel run down. When you don't feel good, you don't want to do good, and we get in this vicious cycle of just stress eating, bloating, feeling depressed, run down, and we keep repeating. And we have to do something to actually break this cycle. And it's not as simple as saying get rid of the stress, which is what we're going to be addressing today. Stress eating, for many of us, especially for women going into their 40s, you guys can relate to it, it occurs due to many factors. And there's three key components of what's going on. So first off, we're going to be addressing it more towards fat loss right now. So when we're stressed out, we have something called our cortisol levels, our fight or flight response. It's our hormone. This goes into overdrive when life gets crazy. You may feel like you're stressed out, you're getting more anxiety, and that triggers us to go, okay, I need something to make me feel better. It's like our reward system lights up. That leads me to step number two. You start getting a craving for that comfort food, because when we have that sweet treat, it gives us that dopamine effect that makes us feel good. And step three, we grab that food, and then because it makes us feel good for that moment, we can't stop eating it. And then the calories add up, then we're in this cycle, and then we're unable to lose the weight, we feel bloated, and that's the thing that we actually need to break free of. So I'm gonna take you through 4 reasons why stress eating can impact our gut, how so, and why it adds up on calories before I go into the simple strategies. So first off, when we're going toward the stress eating foods, it's typically more of those higher fat foods. Calories, okay? Fats are 9 calories per gram, carbs and protein are only 4. So if we're reaching more towards these higher fat foods, we're not tracking our meals, then what happens is those calories add up, and just, a couple handfuls of nuts, that's higher fat, that could be a couple hundred calories and affect our fat loss. Number 2 is our food choices. So when we're stressed out, we're not thinking about making our healthy meals, our sweet potatoes, our vegetables. We're going more towards those convenient foods that are more processed. And there's a reason why they are processed foods. The food industry is very smart about this. And basically, things that are in higher sugar, more processed foods have things in there that make you crave them more. So if we're reaching more towards higher sugar foods, it's going to impact our gut microbiome, feed the bad bacteria, making you have more cravings for it, want it more, getting more food focus, which is where I was. Also, with the food industry, they put things in there that make you crave it more as well. So when you can't get that food off your mind, it could be due to the food choices that we are making. Number 3 is I kind of want to relate it to the gut and bloating. So you guys may think you have to eat more meals throughout the day to speed up your metabolism. So if we're stressed out and we're snacking throughout the day and we're having multiple meals a day, there's something called our migrating motor complex. And you need to hear this. I'm gonna get a little sciencey for a second. Your MMC pathway sweeps out the bad bacteria in the gut. If we're snacking all the time and we're not giving it a good 3 to 4 hours between those meals, this process is not turning on. So we're not allowing the MMC to go on, which cleans out the bad bacteria, which can lead to an overgrowth of bad bacteria, SIBO, bloating, chronic cravings. So I actually stick to less meals. I spread them out, and that helps me a ton with cravings, which is just a simple tool to try out. So if you guys have cravings, try going down to, maybe 3 to 4 meals, larger meals, spacing them out, and allow the MMC pathway to turn on to sweep out those bad bacteria in the gut. The other one that I do want to address when it comes to just cravings is when we are just in this cravings for days mode. It's not as simple as, okay, we're stressed out, we get a craving, eat it, break the stressor. A lot of the times there's a link to what the actual stressor is. If we're in a chronic state of fight or flight response, we're go, go, go. We're not doing anything for ourselves. We have nothing to look forward to when that day starts. That is not the way to live. And I know you guys are saying, well, Elizabeth, I have things to do. Well, here's the deal. If we're in a chronic state of stress all the time, you're rushing through your meals, you're not taking time, you're in that sympathetic mode, it's gonna throw off your digestion because all the blood's going to your extremities. It's gonna throw off our thyroid, our hormones, and really affect our body in general, which is not optimal for fat loss. So I'm not telling you shut off the stress, but I would 100% say, you know what? Sit down, look at your day, how it's structured. See where the stressors are coming from. Next time you have one of these craving, stress eating mode, go out for a 5-10 minute walk and just be in peace. Don't bring your phone with you. And just ask yourself, okay, what am I stressed out about? What's going on right now? What do I need to change? What small things could I incorporate throughout the week? I have my clients incorporate a you day into their week. Just simple things to look forward to, or maybe, there's something going on at work or a stressor or something in the family that you need to address so that you're actually waking up, giving yourself something to look forward to the day. And when it comes down to it, life can just fly by so fast. And if you're in this chronic state of fight or flight response and you're never doing anything for you when you really do deserve it, that's really just gonna affect your hormones, your gut health, and it's not gonna be optimal for fat loss. And it may actually increase your cortisol levels, like I just told you it does, and make you feel like you're retaining water, storing fat, and you feel even more bloated, low energy, and run down. So now that I shared with you a little bit about, what could actually cause cravings and a few different tools of how you can actually overcome stress, get the gut microbiome back on track, I actually want to share with you one more thing, and then I have actually a huge announcement with my biggest tips yet for you. And what I want to talk about is what role the gut microbiome has when it comes to fat loss. Because so many of you say, Elizabeth, how do I know if I do have an imbalance of good and bad bacteria in our gut? So hear me out. Our gut microbiome plays so many roles in our body. Your gut affects everything from digestion to your immune system, even your mental health. When I had a lot of gut issues, my anxiety was through the roof. And when it's out of balance, it can lead to the bloating, the cravings, like I said, the anxiety, low energy. There's so many different things that affect your gut health. And a few different factors are poor diet, high in the processed food, excessive chronic stress, lack of sleep, even certain medications. If you were a C-section baby, bottle fed, if we have any gut issues going on, like maybe we had a gallbladder removed, maybe we have parasites, H. pylori, SIBO, all of these can throw off our gut microbiome. And when that balance is off, it could really amplify all of these issues. It can make you feel more stress, more anxiety, more constipation, bloating, acid reflux, cravings, and just make you feel so depressed and run down. And I truly believe that the key to overcoming cravings, getting your mental health back, achieving fat loss, all starts with the gut. We all have the power to break this cycle. We can tackle the stress, address bloating, manage our cravings, nourish our body, and make fat loss easier. And it's really about understanding what to eat specific for your body, what we need to do for our gut health, and making healthier choices to step out of this cycle and get us to that path of wellness and fat loss. So I actually created the Bloat Free in 3 Ultimate Reset Challenge, and it is going to be November 13th, 14th, and 15th, and I wanted to make something that everyone can join. It's going to be on Zoom, and I have all of the details in the show notes, or you can go to bloatfreein3.com. And what I'm going to be going through is I'm going to be going live every single day, teaching you guys how to master the game of optimal health so that fat loss is not a struggle anymore. We're going to be talking about the winning formula for more energy, less bloat, and fat loss that is sustainable. We're going to talk about how to get over cravings. I'm going to be talking about how to figure out the foods that are actually your hidden triggers causing digestive issues. I'm going to be sharing with you different foods for our gut health, how to beat the bloat, simple strategies. And we're even going to be diving into how to build muscle, lose fat, how to train smarter versus harder for your body and your metabolism. And I'm just so excited because I spent the last 8 months making this for you guys, and I cannot wait for November 13th, 14th, and 15th to go live with each and every one of you. So if you want to join my Bloat Free in 3 challenge, head over to the show notes before. And if you have any friends or anyone that are struggling with digestive issues, they can't lose weight, they have hormone imbalances, they don't know what foods are sabotaging their results and making them just feel inflamed and just like run down, send them over my challenge, send them this podcast, and I want you guys just to invite anyone you know, because I truly just want to help as many people as possible. So if you want to eat more, weigh less, get rid of the bloat, and go into 2024 feeling your strongest, sexiest self, come join my Bloat Free in 3 Ultimate 72-Hour Reset. I will put all the information in the show notes, and I can't wait to see you there.